Hey traders, it is Saturday, December 7th, and we're just creating a video to see how our trades made out for the week. So starting on this last Monday, we officially started calling out trades pre-market. We try and get some swings in there and see, mostly it's been for the day trading because we can get in on this early and see some pre-market volume. And that's really what we've been doing, is we've been looking for large pre-market volume over 100,000 by the time we start looking before the market opens. Then we go ahead and we map out our trades. If it goes above a specific level, then we have some targets, and if it goes below a specific level, then we also have some targets. So we're not biased on the stock at all, but let's have a look to see what our results were like. Then we'll go through the trades. So here, December 3rd, at the end of the day, we called out a swing for Amazon, and we closed at 213.44, so we want to get in the last 5 minutes of the trading day. And we were looking for a swing to 215 to 220. We actually closed pretty much at 220 at the end of the day, so we did hit our target there. That was a profit of $6.56. Now, the end of the week, remember this is Monday, the end of the week, Amazon was on a tear, and we closed at 227.03, which was really good. Now, December 4th, we had two trades. One was ETHU, so the cryptos have been taking off, and ETHU is a 2 times Ethereum ETF. And so we were bullish above 1050 and went to 11 on December 4th, and so we made 50 cents there. And we also called out PLTR. That one has been on the move for a while. We were looking for a day trade above 72 with the target up to 77.50. It didn't go up or down, really. It was just kind of sideways, so that consisted of a no trade. On December 5th, we were looking at Mara, and we were bullish above 28.20, and we were trying to get to 29. But we also had a bearish trade set up. If we broke below 26.50, we could get down to 26, and it went a little bit lower, so we made 50 cents there. Then we called out ETHU again for a day trade looking above 1180 up to 1250. There was no trade that day. That didn't work out. December 5th, also we called out IBIT, which is the Bitcoin ETF. One of them, actually, I think there's 10 of them. This was, but this one's had lots of volume as well. And this was a day trade. We were bullish above 59 with a target of 59.23. It broke 59, got to 59.15, and then went to stop us out for 20-cent loss. So we lost one there. We also called out Riot, and we were talking about bullish above 14 with a target of 14.50, but we also did say that we could retrace and come back to 13. And when we looked at the chart, when we started breaking down, we could short it at 1380, so get in at 1379, and we could ride it all the way down to 13. So that was a 79-cent profit right there. So December 6th, we called out two, PLTR and GameStop. So PLTR, we were bullish above 73.50, taking some profit all the way to 76, and so we nailed that for a $2.50 profit. It actually went a little bit higher. And then we did GameStop. We were looking bullish above 30 with a target up to 30.86. It was a nothing burger that day, so we got no trade on there. But the interesting thing is, out of all of the trades that we've taken this week, total trades were 6 that we actually got into, for a total of $10.65. We had 5 wins for $10.85, and losses is 1 for 20 cents. So if you guys are comparing, what we're looking for is results. So it couldn't be any portion of this. If you're doing 1 share, or if you're doing 100 shares, or you're doing options contracts, things like that. Our win rate here is 83%, which is not bad. That's 5 out of 6. And the other thing is managing our risk. We only took a 20-cent loss here. So even though we have a win rate of 83%, many traders can have an excellent win rate but still lose money. So what we want to do is let our winners run and cut our losses. All right, we've looked at our weekly stats. Let's go ahead and look at the charts and compare for what we did. So we'll go back to TradingView, and the first one was on December 3rd for Amazon. Let me just go back here. So December 3rd, we were looking at this right here. Massive volume on that. And if we look at Moby, We'll go over here, we'll go to the print lookup, and we'll put in Amazon. We called this out on December 3rd, right? And so we see the increasing volume here, and we kind of borrowed it from the day before, but there's volume here. We were consolidating across all of these prints, so we made a higher high, higher low, moved up, there's increasing volume, and we were breaking above that. So here there was a new print as well. This was 3.4 million from 11/29, November 29th. So this was a great swing opportunity into the next day as well. So we called that out. And then this continued up for the rest of the week. Actually, a lot of the market was bullish anyway. And so when we look at this sort of thing here with Moby down here, looking at the additional prints, this is anything over 100,000. But on December 4th, 217.83, so that actually came in on the next day. And then 218, 217, 219. So you can see they're adding to their position here. And on Friday, we got a 1.7 million at 224. And we closed above that. So let's see what happens. We've had a lot of volume coming in, but we've had a lot of dark pool activity, a lot of institutional interest in this stock here. And that's one of the reasons why it's been moving. We see the seasonality here. It's kind of goes sideways a little bit into December and up. But let's see if this will have a top or if it'll pull back a little bit. But if it pulls back, we're looking at maybe to test the 4 or this 8 exponential moving average and maybe move up a little bit higher. So we'll have to do our technical analysis on that. But as far as the swing trade, that was great. And the swing trade, actually, there was no reason to get out of it because we were already profitable. And our day trade would have turned into a swing trade. But for the purpose of our record keeping, the call out was for a day trade, so we wound up doing that. All right, let's look at ETHU for December 4th. So December 4th, crypto's been on fire, actually. And so the crypto ETFs are really good. As far as the stock market is concerned, there is that correlation between stocks and crypto because there are the crypto ETFs like Ethereum, there's the GXLM for the Stellar, there's ETH, there's ETHE, Grayscale, and there's this 2x Ether ETF. So this one here we were looking at December 4th, and let's see what we got here. December 4th, this is what happened for the day, right? This had pulled, so on the 3rd might not have been a great swing setup. There were these big prints here, and then we came back, but what we did is we had quite a bit of volume, and we had pushed off the 8 exponential moving average and closed above one of these recent prints here. These are smaller ones. There aren't massive trades on this one, but these are a lot dollar value wise, right? 200,000, 268, 2.25, things like that. And there's this consolidation here. And when we gap above that and we open on the 4 exponential moving average and we start moving up, that was great because there was pre-market volume on this day. This candle hadn't formed yet, but when I called it out, you can watch the video, there was lots of pre-market volume on Ether and it started to move. And when you look at the chart, it's like, wait a minute, we're gapping up above these trades, continuing on the trend. So we were looking for an upward move of that. And so we had called out bullish above 1050 with a target of 11. And let's go ahead and look at ETHU for December 4th. So here is December 4th, and we were bullish above 1050. We had this pullback, and then we had this nice bullish engulfing here into the open. Now, the first 15 minutes of the trading day can be quite volatile, so sometimes we just sit on our hands. This was a great entry here, coming back, bullish engulfing, and then we usually have the first candle of the day is always massive volume. But we were bullish above 1050, and this was great as an entry point. What I have on my chart is these green crosses. That's the current day's open, right? So when that would be corresponding to this candle here. And we were bullish above 1050 with a target of 11, and this went up and it hit our target right here by 10:05. So this is a 35-minute trade there to make the 50 cents. And then we came up actually to 1120, pulled back fairly deep, came up lower high, and then it broke up later in the day after 2 o'clock. And then we got up to 1140. But getting the meat of the trade is fantastic, right? Because then your day is already done by here. By the time we hit our target, we could have stayed in it as well. I got out because of the target. Now, the thing is we're still riding this 4 exponential moving average, and the 8 is kind of the buffer for it, right? That would be the normal trend. This comes all the way up, and then we start pulling back, and then there's a signal of a reversal since we closed below the 8 exponential moving average. There, that's a potential reversal. And then so shorting below 11 for the retracement. I usually don't take many of these retracement trades when it is in a very, very bullish trend. Although it went down to 1060, this is 1120 to 1060, so that's a 60-cent move there. We caught our 50-cent move up. You can do this if you like for the scalper, but for the sake of sharing information with everybody, we caught our 50 cents at the beginning. So we also called out PLTR, which was really no trade on that. It didn't come close to getting us in, so we'll just skip that one for now. Let's look at December 5th for Mara. We'll reset this price scale. That's December 5th for Mara. Okay, this nice juicy red candle. So this has been consolidating. We had these big wicks here. We came down, pulled up, lower high, right? We've got all of this resistance stuff, but 28 is a massive level. And so we opened up, came up to 28, and then pulled all the way back. What we were talking about in the video, if you want to go back and see it on our YouTube channel, what we were looking for is if we broke below 2650, we had a trade back to 26. So this came up, tested the open, kind of pushed up lower high, increasing volume, breaking below the open. We had a great short. So when we closed below 2650, that was our deal back to 26. This was really strong. This actually came down to 2550. And so either you get out there or you take profit there, or you look for another short. You could stay in, but really when these moving averages actually cross above each other, that's a potential trend reversal. So if you're, depending on what your trading plan is, if you're scalping, then that's fine. There's your trade. You could have a day trade where you actually stay in it longer, if you like, through to the end of the day. Okay, ETHU again, December 5th, that no trade. And then IBIT on December 5th, we tried that one. So let's have a look at IBIT. So here's IBIT on December 5th, and we were bullish above 59 with a target, the first target of 59.23. And so what happened is this came up, and I thought this might work out because we had already tested it pre-market, right? That's why I've got that line there. We tested it pre-market. And so the second test is usually a little easier. So we had this big volume coming up. So if we got in there at the 59, it came up to 59.15, I think. So it didn't hit our target, and then it went against us. So we would have gotten out and lost our 20 cents. And then so this kind of reversed. But there was a good shorting opportunity. If you wound up taking that short, then there was a target to the downside there. Let's have a look at Riot for the same day. Riot also December 5th. We had mentioned we were bullish above 14 with a target of 1450. Now this one came up and then just completely went against us at that point. So that was the first test here. So we would have waited for the candle to close. The 14 is a major dollar level. It was up to you whether you got in on the very first candle. The opening candle, we normally wait 15 minutes. So I don't count this one, trading right at the open. But we did actually say that we had a reversal back down to 13. So when we broke below the open here, so 1379, we could ride it all the way down to 13, the major dollar level. This actually went a little bit lower, down to 1273, and then went sideways for a bit, then all the way down to 1232. So if you were staying in this for a day trade, there was a little bit more profit to be made. If you were scalping in and out at your targets, then our trade worked out perfectly. The next one we want to look at is December 6th for PLTR. This one's been on the list for a while, and so it decided that it was going to move. So we were bullish above 73.50, which rocketed at the open here. For that, we had tested this pre-market here, and so that was good. This was the second test. I don't mind getting in if it's the second test on that, but if it hasn't tested it once, then I'm not going to get in on the first test. That's bad news. But so this pulled back, and 73.50, our target was 73.80, 74, and then 76. And this actually went, it hit 76 up here at 11 o'clock. So if you were in that from 9:30 to 11, that's 90 minutes to make $2.50. And this is kind of the beginning of what we call minion time, where the big institutions go for lunch, and then the price is easier manipulated. There's less volume usually during the day. Sometimes there's some great trade setups if the volume is actually there. So this one kind of steadily moved up and pulled back throughout the day, and we closed higher. We actually got up to 76.80 for the day, and then it ran into the close. So we'll see where that is. But if we look at this chart on the right-hand side, that is pretty extended, and especially getting away from these shorter moving averages, this is a huge possible retracement back down here. But we ended on really high volume, and so you can see that over the last few days that the volume has been increasing. There's a big one. That one wasn't as big as the day before, but it was definitely bigger than the other ones. Then this day, not so much. I would think maybe that's testing to see if there's still sellers, and then we took right off there. And so we've seen that there's lots of prints going on there. And then GameStop, there was really no trade. I just wanted to walk you through how we were picking some of these things. I appreciate it if you like and subscribe. And if you're interested in Moby Tick, the application that we use to find all of these trades, I encourage you to visit mobyticktrading.com. Please leave a comment or reach out to us, and hopefully you guys find these videos helpful. All right, happy trading and have a good rest of your weekend.